Heads, it's news. Tails, it's news. It's news.
On the hour.
Such is politics.
It's a painful business. On the hour.
What you mustn't do in politics is listen to people.
It's a painful business. On Radio 4.
Such is politics.
So that's the door that's open now.
Is the Commission worried that it may not be able to kick that door shut again?
It is the key that turns the door in the lock to open the door.
I want to open doors, not shut them.
On the hour with Christopher Morris.
Here I am. Take me. Today's top shelf.
The headlines.
14 councillors drowned in nosebleed disaster. Queen thin, says man. And the Education Secretary explains why children will now be forced to choose between reading and writing.
On the hour.
Plus, coming up, Prince Harry and television outbursts against his own father.
He's not a god. He settled his power on money, on arms, and corruption. And if he's overthrown, I think it will be a good thing.
And the police search continues for the gang of inner-city youths who are stealing London's car parks.
In fact, we're talking about all car parks. Hospital car parks, works car parks, open car parks, closed car parks. If it's a car park, we're interested.
But first, the news. President Bush has said that the new spirit of cooperation between East and West will not be altered by yesterday's nuclear attack on Chicago by the Ukraine. The concentrated bombing, which has left large areas of the central United States uninhabitable, was dismissed by the president as an unfortunate incident which should not be allowed to cloud an otherwise encouraging friendship.
On the hour.
A Home Office report published today has described the standard of homemade weapons in Britain's prisons as laughable. Feeble-minded convicts have been found trying to make guns out of hollowed-out carrots and clubs from glued-together hair. A prison inspector said in regular ingenuity tests, 8 out of 10 inmates handed a loaded revolver would hammer the barrel flat and try and sharpen it into a knife. Time now for Rosie May with Green Desk.
Green Desk.
Green News Update from me, Rosie May. Sandwiches needn't be the usual fatty bread-based snack. 2 green leaves, perhaps with a piece of bread between them, make an interesting and healthy leaf-based alternative.
Green Desk.
And it's just been announced that the next general election will be on the 27th of March, 1996. With the news in full, here's the continuity announcer.
The next general election will take place on the 27th of March, 1996, according to an announcement by the government today. Here's our political reporter, Kevin Toyne.
The date announced by the government for the next general election is the 6th of March, 1996. The statement was issued to reporters outside Number 10 this morning.
The date of the next general election will be the 27th of March, 1996. We've announced the date today to avoid months of speculation.
The spokesman said the date had been announced today
to avoid months of
speculation. But the main parties have already been out sniffing for votes. Leading candidates have been nailed to billboards around the country for unveiling next week. And the image makers have started throwing their oars about, with the advertising company Cruise Benson just completing the first party political broadcast of the campaign, which we'll hear in a moment. This broadcast will be sold tomorrow afternoon to the party which offers the most lucre. Here it is in full.
If your brain was made out of soil and dirt and pus, you wouldn't be able to operate very efficiently. And the same is true when our country is governed by a dirty and pussy political party. Our children are uneducated, and their grazers and scratchers remain untreated. Our youths turn to crime, riot, kill and eat small dogs and otters, worship the evil Lord Satan, and speak when not spoken to by adults. Terrorists destroy our limbs and hair, and there is no money.
But when we are in power, the sun rises over a misty field as rabbits awake and gently rub their eyes. A party of prospect. Everyone has a job which they enjoy and which pays them too much, if anything. Forward with the future time. Industry works properly and is the envy of all people of non-English lands. You no longer make foolish grammatical errors and feel comfortable and witty at parties. And a new age of peace and plenty dawns, where all men are brothers, corn and shoes are regularly supplied by a fleet of solar-powered scooters, and the lost continent of Atlantis rises from the ocean. It's ace.
I've always voted for them, so I'll vote.
Well, in my line of work, I'm an actress, and it just makes a lot more sense for me to vote for them.
I'll vote for them. You know, that I will.
I like them, I'll vote for them.
Yeah, I'll be voting for them, because I'm left-handed.
You can say what you like, but I will vote for them.
Hey, I don't know about these two here, right, but I'm going to vote for them, definitely.
And my life's been a complete disaster, so I'm going to give them a go.
I don't like them very much, but I'll vote for them.
My uncle's one, so I've got to vote for them, really.
Vote for us. Tomorrow, today, with the progress of a nation's good workingness.
On the Hour, modern yet palatable news presentation.
And it's a sobering thought that during that broadcast alone in the 16th century, 300 more children would have died of cholera. Time now for Thought for the Day from Monsignor Trebe Lopez.
My friends were discussing the snooker in the public house last night. Who do you think is best, Trebe? Asked Roger. Jimmy White or Stephen Hendry? I think Jesus is best, saith I, quickly. Yes, but just for once, put your bloody religion aside and give us your opinion, said Roger. You cannot put Jesus aside, Roger, said I.
Green Desk.
Green news update from me, Rosie May. There's a beached whale vigil in Lowestoft on Thursday night. Please bring a thermos, some flannel and any unwanted heavy lifting gear.
Green Desk.
There's a dandelion seance and daisy meditation in the Cheviots on Sunday. Meet at 2 o'clock by the Cheviots.
Green Desk.
And as part of On the Hour's Nature Awareness campaign, we now invite you to Envire Within.
Dr. Horace Dobbs is the head of an organisation called International Dolphin Watch. He believes in a global dolphin consciousness and encourages people to swim with dolphins to cure their diseases. Earlier this week, he agreed to go into the BBC studios in Humberside to be interviewed by On the Hour. Dr. Dobbs, welcome.
Hello.
Now, let's establish first of all, what's the difference between a dolphin and, say, a crab?
A crab? Well, of course, a crab has cold blood. A dolphin has the same temperature, roughly, as human beings. And, of course, a dolphin suckles its young, whereas crabs, of course, lay eggs.
Like a chicken?
Yes.
So how did your head first get into the dolphin's realm?
Well, I used to do medical research in the brain and the central nervous system, and I was interested in psychotropic drugs.
What was the effect of these drugs you mentioned?
Well, the drugs I was working on were very potent morphine-like drugs.
You were working on these drugs?
Yeah, and this was before. Some of them were 10,000 times as potent as morphine, so 3 milligrams would knock out an elephant. Now, we think that one of the things that dolphins do is to liberate endomorphines in the human brain, and that's one of the reasons why people feel so happy when they see dolphins, and it's almost universal.
Let me nail this down. Do dolphins have the answer?
Oh, yes, I think that, I mean, there's no quid pro quo in the dolphins' world.
No money at all?
Well, no, but I mean, the point is that they don't see, they do things unconditionally. They don't expect anything in return. And I was made aware of this when a lady who couldn't swim came out one day with me on the boat to see a friendly dolphin called Percy. And we hauled her onto the inflatable afterwards, and tears flowed down her face. And I said, "What did that mean to you?" And she said, "Oh, he gave me unconditional love. He loved me for what was inside me."
Fish.
Pardon?
She may have eaten some fish.
You know, it depends whether you start looking at this as a scientist, which I was, or a mystic.
Which you are.
Well, yeah, that's right. So this means that inside our head we've got pictures and actually have got this sort of global dolphin consciousness, which super sensitive people can actually make contact with. But you have to be in a kind of mystical frame of mind.
Off your face.
And if you can tune in to the dolphin's psyche, as it were, then you start to dance to a merry song. And if you abandon yourself totally to it, then you can find joy.
And what would be the dolphin's favourite record?
I guess Tubular Bells. But I've got some spheres called celestial balls. And I'm not sure what's inside these things, but if you roll them in the palm of your hand, you get this very soothing, tinkling sound. And they certainly like that.
Musical balls?
Yeah.
Presumably you'd support the idea of crossbreeding between humans and dolphins.
Oh, yes. Well, we've got, in International Dolphin Watch, we've got a lovely video called Oceania, and that talks about Homo delphinus.
And dolphins are not backward in coming forward with their tummy bananas, their tools of reproduction.
Yeah, they use their penis as a tactile organ, and it's a very handy thing to tow people around with if you want to interact with them in that way.
And it would be a good idea to get some of their characteristics
into human beings. Yeah, actually,
there's no such thing as a nutter in the dolphin world.
There appears not to be.
On the hour, hard-edged fact while caring for the softer animal.
Oh, this morning as I sped past the sports room, I couldn't help noticing that Alan Partridge's desk was empty. I thought he was dead until I realised he's at the Olympics. He's there right now for the opening ceremony. Hello, Alan.
Yes, the Olympics again, stretching back thousands of years to Greece. Greece, where fit young men wrestled naked under the baking Aegean sun of Mount Olympus. Absolutely naked. Now, once more, we see a new generation of athletes, colossi, giants even, striding with their gelled blonde hair and stomachs like tortoise shells, all ribbed and hard like a sort of rubber wall. Some sort. Gods and goddesses too, let's not forget. Oh, where did the baby gods come from? Diana of the Hunt. No test tubes in those days, Olympics or not. The Americans here, blonde-haired, muscles rippling under their vests, followed by the Swedish men. Sturdy, blonde, legs like trees these fellas have got, I can tell you. And the Englishmen next after them, blonde mostly. Arms like huge, muscly legs. Their singlets and shorts taut with hidden athletic power. All nations here, the peak of humanity, stalking the world of sport as if they had rained from heaven in a golden shower of athletic rain, all of them coming together in harmony at the Olympic feast. The Olympic feast of ancient sport, where they can run around and jump over things, jumping very high into the air indeed, and at what great speeds too, believe you me. And throwing things into the air as well, sort of discs, I think they're throwing, and big balls of iron, like huge walnuts of stone they are, flying into the Olympic sky. And some sticks as well, they throw them sometimes.
On the hour, interesting listening with a newsy stamp.
And we'll be returning to Alan Partridge at the Olympics later on in the programme. America now, and we've just received this report through the line from CBN's Barbara Wintergreen. What it's about, I've no idea, because I haven't actually had a chance to listen to it yet.
A woman's place may be in the home, but from tomorrow it's definitely not in the state of Nebraska. Nebraska Governor Mike Morgan has won Supreme Court approval for controversial legislation banning women from his state.
The issue is, what kind of America do we want? What kind of America do we want to take into the millennium? Now, we want an America that is strong and full of purpose. And now, when you are trying to make a decision based on strength and strength of purpose, you do not want a woman around.
What does your mother think of this legislation?
My mother is dead.
Your wife?
My wife is dead.
I'm sorry about that. The Supreme Court ruling paves the way for other states to bring in female clearance bills of their own. And all the signs are that women could be banned from 3/5 of America by the fall.
I am wholly in favor of a state for women.
Just one.
One state would be enough.
Which one do you propose?
That would be a matter for the Supreme Court to...
But not Nebraska.
Certainly not Nebraska, no.
Mother Nature has disconnected the gender since time
Mother Nature is a woman.
It's an issue that's divided the USA. Women's League protester Donna Doubtfire dubs Morgan's legislation geographic gynofascism.
It's geographic gynofascism.
So what do you mean by that?
I mean that men are trying to segregate women into some sort of pen where they have no rights and no bodies and no minds and no future. A woman's body is her own property and she alone should be able to decide its location.
Meanwhile, big bucks are being spent on a TV gender fight.
Honey?
Yes, dear?
Get out!
Paid for by the American Brotherhood.
Senator Morgan says women should get out of the home and out of the state. We say balls!
Paid for by the Sisters of America.
Can you imagine what I would sound like if I were a woman?
I'd sound like this.
See? Keep 'em out.
You are running a spike into the solidarity of women by saying that.
So it looks as though this is one Supreme Court ruling that very definitely says wham ban, no thank you ma'am. Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News, in the front line of the Battle of the Sexes.
And we've just received an SOS message. Mr. Shardock Mackenzie has phoned to say that he's lost half his dog. He let her out early this morning, but only the right side of her body came back. He assures us she's not distressed, but says that she has trouble standing upright in a strong wind and has difficulty keeping the food in her mouth. She's a border collie. She was lost near Batchworth Park. Her full name is Patricia Watkins, but if you find just the Kins bit on the collar, that's all right. The rest made it back. Time now for Thought for the Day, and our guest speaker this morning is Douglas Hurd. Good morning.
Morning to you. I'm depressed. It's entirely understandable in terms of human nature. But today's whatever it is. There's a week to go. But the world has always been like that, has it not? Morning to you.
This is On the Hour, the time just coming up to 8 o'clock on Wednesday, the 16th of July. Good morning from Christopher Morris in London.
And good morning from Brian Redhead in Blackburn Cathedral, a step nearer heaven.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the news. Coming up over the next and so on, relief as Matlock is cleared of its dangerous horses.
No, I won't miss them. About 4 of them came in here, and knocked that wall down over there and took the video recorder.
And the environmental nightmare that threatens the beaches of Norfolk.
Well, from where I'm standing, from here right down as far as the pier, it's just all yoghurt. Just look at them. Those birds are never going to fly again.
But first, the news. A consortium of junior Treasury ministers in Strasbourg has agreed on a projected budget deficit for the European community. Joining me now on the line is our deficit correspondent, Peter O'Hanrahan. Peter, what's the atmosphere like now in Strasbourg?
Well, it's been an extraordinary day here in Strasbourg. The European junior Treasury ministers have come to a historic agreement here on budget deficits for Europe in '96.
Thanks, Peter. What else?
The percentages have just been announced. 55% pork belly deficit, 30% cocoa deficit, 30% juice benefit deficit.
Making 115%.
Correct.
115 out of 100.
Yes.
Percent means out of 100. You've just given us 115 out of 100. How do you get that?
I didn't get it, Chris.
Well, you've got it written down in front of you.
Yes,
You've just read it out.
Yes.
How does it work, then? How can you get 115 out of 100?
That is the European way.
All right, you can just sit there in Strasbourg and tell me how it feels as you cruise casually past a finite barrier like 100 out of 100 towards 101, 102, 103, and God knows 115 out of 100.
It doesn't go beyond 15. It won't go any further.
All right, carry on.
It's the thin end of a very, very, very complex wedge.
What do you mean a complex wedge?
I've got the wedge in front of me. I can see it, and it's complicated.
Surely a wedge is a simple triangular device causing a split.
Not necessarily.
OK, tell me how complex this wedge is.
It's got wires on it.
How do they help?
They're all different colours, and they connect. Each one represents a different nation.
Peter.
Yes, Chris.
I'm not the only person who's becoming increasingly annoyed with your rather tedious louche style.
I'm sorry.
Don't say anything more! I can't stand your sniffing! Peter, thank you. I said thank you.
Oh, I thought that meant I could go.
Peter, thank you.
Just... thank you!
On the Hour. A sensible broadsheet among the brightly coloured rubbish.
Now, Saturday mornings wouldn't be the same, would they, without the zap and tinkle of Radio 4's Hot Air. The chat unit who make the programme have supplied us with this special package featuring all the bright young things of the Hot Air team, led, as ever, by 60s satirist Dan Dandy.
Hello, and first today's noise. The sound of a hammer banging on a table made from wood from a Viennese church, next to which stands a forge which fashioned the hook, from which hangs the print of a hall in New York, which once held a concert of music by Stephen Sondheim. Round the table we have 3 regulars, 4 irregulars, 2 old irregulars, 4 new regulars, 3 old, 2 news, 5 very olds indeed, plus the oldest of them all, Richard Socks. Though, of course, Richard, you are in fact not old at all. You are extremely young, being a trendy and fashionable style guru. What have you been up to this week?
Well, this week
Yes.
I woke up with a question in my head.
Splendid.
Paper. What is paper?
Paper, good.
Yeah,
Really good.
Good. Yeah, I mean, we all use it, but do we actually know what it is? Play my tape.
Paper, 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 paper.
I knew I could only get a decent answer by asking the people in Carnaby Street.
It is only a paper.
You look at that, right? What actually is it?
Paper.
Hold the paper. Hold the paper. Hold the paper.
But what is paper?
Documentation.
That's quite a sophisticated answer. Do you work in advertising?
No.
Can you give us a voiceover?
Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup.
What is paper?
Basically, it comes from trees, which is the problem with the rainforest and the ozone layer.
So that's quite a trendy answer.
Well, not quite. It was trendy 20 years ago. Yeah.
So it's quite
20
modern.
years ago, they were still talking about
Yeah,
this.
but it is trendy!
And the paper.
Well, if the people on Carnaby Street couldn't help me, I certainly didn't hold out much hope in asking the manufacturers of paper. I mean, after all, they're just normal, everyday people.
Everyday people.
I mean, it's amazing, isn't it, to think of these rows of ordinary people spending every day of their working lives making paper without ever actually knowing what it is. You make paper, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it then?
Well, basically, the fibres of trees taken and treated in such a way as to split the ends open. From there, this will carry on to the paper-making machine itself, which applies a slight shake, which in turn would cause these fibres to overlap each other and intermingle. We then add china clay to the mix, which fills in the hills and valleys caused by this intermingling. As you come through to the other end of the machine, there is the paper.
So you don't actually know what it is?
How do you mean?
On the Hour. Choice morsels from a broad kitchen.
The time is 9:70 to a fifth width of 3. Public schools now, and of course by the term public school we mean private school, as Evelyn Waugh so wittily pointed out in his book. Kevin Smear has been prodding the jerseys of the educationally privileged. His report was actually recorded at Chapter House, though you can take it as read that it's pretty applicable across the board.
Chapter House, a public school deep in the rolling heartlands of Sussex. But in John Major's classless Britain, ho, 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 what place public schools? What goes on there? Who gets hurt? John Peterson is the headmaster.
What do you say about these accusations that there's a lot of bullying going on in your school?
Yes, of course it goes on. It goes on in society, and we are a microcosm of society, and bullying is all part of the natural order. Of course we don't want boys to be maimed or hurt in any sort of undue way.
Or, for example, killed. I believe there was a death in the school last month, a David Duckins. Presumably, someone got punished.
Well, Duckins was punished, of course, posthumously.
There might be some people who would like to ask the question, why was a dead boy punished?
It was nothing specific, but his character was afflicted by the Nancy syndrome, in that he was a bit of a mincer. He affected a rather lax, unupright disposition, and was seen very, very blatantly mincing along the corridors. We can't have this.
You've got to understand that if anyone finds out that I talked to you, I could get scragged.
13-year-old Lionel Cosgrave, a poor boy at Chapter House on a poor boy scholarship. We met secretly in a shed where they keep the school hurdles. His story was a battered one.
All right.
Go on, go on, yes, go on.
It'll go no further.
No.
This isn't switched
No.
on. No. I've been varnied like twice at the front and once at the back, and once they even varnied me in the toilets.
Tell me more.
All right. Sometimes, right, they come out of classes, like, the teacher just says, no more classes, Lionel's outside. They all come out, right, and they strip me naked, they scrag me from behind, scrag me on top, they then take me out into the refectory, they give me a good throple, and then take me back and scrag me again.
You poor boy.
Square bashing, queer bashing, nonce bashing is all part of the curriculum. There is community service for the poofters. That's fine. We of course we're going to provide something for them, because they're not going to be any use on the battlefield.
The school, I believe, has bought a young French girl of 17, I think.
Yes.
Maria Ainu.
Yes, Maria the tart, the French tart. Because, of course, I don't want boys being distracted by each other. There's a lot of kind of monkey business goes on in the showers, and I certainly don't want to condone that. And so what we do is we use this woman, this girl, to initiate them. So we get our money's worth out of her, you might say, because she really does work round the clock.
I sat in on a Chapter House school staff meeting.
I'm worried about Smythe, as we're talking about the play, that he seems to be taking the part of Cordelia rather seriously.
Yes.
I also think that Maria could pop in one tea time and just give him a chat and some some physical.
I don't know. I'll give him a seeing too, if you like. He's different.
Different in what way, Maria?
I don't know.
Do you mean he's a puff?
It doesn't seem to be very manly, really.
His father's a musician, isn't he?
Should we have him bashed by the older boys?
I think one bashing might sort him out, just the one.
I think it would have to be a pretty damn big bashing, though, in front of the whole school.
Naked?
Oh, well, yes,
I
obviously.
think so.
Chapter House. A charnel house.
And your reporter on that piece about schools was... Just time now to whip back to Alan Partridge before the end of the programme. He's at the Olympic opening ceremony. Alan, loose your bow.
There are flags here from many countries, all different colours, and people of all different colours like the flags, though the people, of course, are not always the same colour as their flags. Maybe they should be, who knows? Now, and in the athletic parade now, I can see some of the women athletes. A relatively new development, these women are, and I know, some people say, no, they shouldn't be here, not in the Olympics, no, let them have their own Olympics like the disabled fellas do, but I say no to them. I think it's good to have them along, adding a bit of glam to these sacred racers in their shorts. Very nice indeed. There's the Moroccans from Little Morocco. Look at the cheeky fellas, the smaller racers coming together, competing with the big boys. I wonder what their national anthem is. Probably quite a lot of drums involved. Pity we probably won't be able to hear it here, because I doubt, frankly, if they'll be winning anything. Unless, of course, they're giving out medals for pluckiness.
Closing music.
And just time for a swift toke on tomorrow's headlines. Kleenex-fingered man, too flappy for yacht, says skipper. That's the Independent. Fast-selling pick-me-up distilled from dead gymnast, The Star. Inside tomorrow's Financial Times, by the way, you'll find a free football. Ashamed by your mistakes in architecture, the Madrid Monthly. And demented raccoon prized from Cartland's headless corpse. That takes up most of the front page in The Guardian. That's it. I'm Christopher Morris. And remember the saying, no news is good news. It's balls.
Today, we're live out on the street, closer than ever before to where news actually happens. Above me, the sky. Around me, the people. So often the dramatis personae of news events. You, sir, you're a person on the street. How close are we to a news?
Very close, actually. I've only got to watch over the road here. Someone getting knocked down.
Stand aside, peasant. This is On the Hour.
Oh, right. Okie dokie.
On the Hour. Such is politics.
It's a pain.
On the Hour.
What you mustn't do in politics is listen to people.
It's a painful business.
On Radio 4. Such is politics.
But hang on, let's
I do want to pick up On the Hour with Christopher Morris.
These facts are ear-shaped. Let's ram them home. What do I see coming over the Alps?
The headlines.
Borrowed dog finds Scotland. UN General Assembly hide Pope in cupboard. And Stokegraft may save Sinatra.
On the Hour.
Plus, coming up, the Queen beats her sister in a 5-day drinking contest.
Standing here today, I am conscious.
And bird stick.
Well, I'm sorry, we seem to have lost the On the Hour outside broadcast for a moment, so while we try and fix the wire, here's some drama from the BBC Breakdown Unit, who are living in a drama studio day and night, performing 24-hour drama for occasions such as these. The play at the moment is Thanks George by Jeff Taylor. Barbara and George have been happily married for 15 years, but when Jane comes to tea, she turns out to be not quite the best friend she thought she was.
I don't want to sound funny or anything, but I think something's going on with George.
Going on?
Well, please say if you notice anything.
Ah!
Hello, darling.
Hello, Barbara. Hello, Jane.
Hello, George.
We were just talking about you.
Oh.
Sure you're all right?
I'll be back later, it's just work.
Look, it's my fault.
Look, is something going on between you two? Because you're both acting frightfully strangely. Hello?
Saved by the bell.
It's not going to work. You'll have to tell her now.
Kenny?
George, I can't go on living a lie.
Kenny, turn that music down.
I can't tell her.
Why not? Don't you see you owe it to me?
She's my wife!
You owe it to yourself, George.
Well, I gather we can return now to On the Hour, but due to the severity of the technical trauma, the outside broadcast has been abolished. So, for the next few minutes, the programme will be on the move from its location in the street to an emergency studio in Broadcasting House.
That's right, I'm standing precisely bang outside Broadcasting House reception at the moment. I'm about to proceed through the building and I shall attempt to keep you abreast of the news as I do so. The art world is still reeling after two galleries, the National and the Tate, have been hit by origami attacks. The wave of meticulous vandalism has left collectors aghast as major paintings were carefully removed from their frames and folded into three-dimensional figures. I'm sorry?
The pass.
Sorry?
Show me your pass and then you could...
I'm bursting with news. If you stop me, I'll explode.
Still show me the pass.
I have to carry on.
You'll have to show
Do you
me
want
the pass.
money?
I want a pass.
How much money can you
I
take?
want to see the pass first.
£10?
Yeah, you could continue.
Thank you. As a result of last night's raids, Picasso's Weeping Woman is now a bird base, Millet's Ophelia has become a frog, and Constable's The Hayway is a 4-foot square water bomb.
Are you coming up?
Please press the button that goes to floor 3.
Yeah.
Thank you. prisons now, and a prison authority think tank to study breakout techniques is calling today for more prisoners to escape. Ideally, we need 2 or 3 major breakouts, said Chairman Gregory Shape. Any time in the next fortnight would be fine. Thank you. Goodbye. The time is... Excuse me, sir. Could I see your watch a moment? How accurate is that?
Well, say half a minute.
Plus or minus half a minute?
Yeah, that's right.
The time is 76:01 plus 4 with fractions, plus or minus 30
that's
seconds.
Right, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, sir, thank you. Hello, I'm here. Can you show me the mic?
What is it you're after?
The emergency news studio.
Emergency news studio? This is the fire watch room. So what, it's an emergency
news
room for if you were moved out of your studio for any reason?
No, it's happening right now. Having that telly on doesn't help.
I can't see why they've sent you to the fire watch room.
Very well. Could you just say, man in the box, play me a jingle?
Sorry?
You just say, man in the box, play me a jingle. I think we can get out of it that way.
Look, I'm the fire and security supervisor.
Big time.
If you don't leave this room now, there's going to be trouble. You're in the wrong room.
All right. Man in the box, play me that jingle now.
On the hour, leaves the apple to ripen on the bough, then harvests it at tremendous speed.
The news. I'm sorry, but all that sprinting with its associated anaerobic respiration has left me with something of an oxygen debt in my muscles. You give me 20 seconds of drama to burn it off.
On the hour.
Look, we'll have to talk about this. I'm not ready for this.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
George has something to tell you.
Yes, George?
Go on, George.
Please, George, Phil.
I've been having an affair. Oh, my God.
Now look what's happened.
Are you all right?
I'm just rather faint.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Have a cup of tea.
Thank
It
you.
was never meant to be like this. I don't know what...
Please, George. George, I want to say thank you. And Jane, for being so frank. I love you both.
No! Come back! Come back! Come back.
On the hour.
The news. A bluebottle has been terrorising residents in the Essex village of Dedham. The insect appeared on Wednesday and started flying around in a lazy, menacing fashion, distressing the angry and driving startled villagers indoors. Speaking from a telephone in his fly-proofed cellar, a petrified parish councillor told us, "It makes a buzzing noise near your head. This could take a very long time indeed."
News update.
Police have issued details of a man they want to question. From ear-witness accounts, they've managed to piece together audio-fit details of the sound of the man's voice. He pronounces the monosyllabic word for distant like this. That's the word spelled C-A-N-E. Gain, 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 gain. If you heard him describing a pot of meat and vegetables, he'd say this. Stew, stew. And the final syllable of centipede, peed. The police say from assembling all the details of the man's voice, it's possible to tell how he actually sounds. Gain, stew, peed.
Green Desk.
Green News update from me, Rosie May. Soil is our friend. Scientist Sam Pinnell of the Clapham Soil Research Centre has fashioned an entire house and all its contents out of nothing less than soil.
Environmental news. If it's green, we'll cover it.
This is Alan Partridge with a big sports desk. Soccer news. Arsenal's Paul Merson is fighting a stomach bug that has left him as weak as a kitten just 24 hours before the Gunners' League clash with Everton tomorrow. He's been vomiting twice an hour like a broken food mixer and has a really nasty case of diarrhea. Apparently, he's also got hemorrhoids and has picked up a bit of thrush. Still, all being well, he should be fit for the game at Goodison tomorrow.
On the hour. Current affairs broadcasting melded with the broadness of life.
Now, news comes in all shapes and sizes, and seldom more shapely or sizey than when CBN's Barbara Wintergreen is wearing it. Her name is stuck all over this piece of tape, which, according to my examination of the magnetic alignments of its oxide, is about guns and how they dominate American presidential campaigns.
This country is none other than the country which is the one that you now are all living in it.
Governor Donald Patriamo of Delaware injecting fervor into a campaign which he hopes this year will propel him to the presidency of the United States. But behind the hard words is a stack of soft focus techniques coordinated by Patriamo campaign manager Stag Cooper.
Guns, we shouldn't need to carry them at all. And the best way to illustrate this, we thought, would be to have a great bonanza day where we recreate the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. So we've hired a grassy knoll, the original Lincoln convertible that he drove in. We had that cleaned up, of course. And we thought we'd illustrate the power of the gun by having a trained marksman, and he'll shoot the president as he comes through. Now, don't worry, we're not going to use the real president. We're going to get a guy to stand in, a man called Daimler Jeffries, who is on death row. And he's doing a service to the community, and I understand he's a registered Democrat. So this man will be dying for the Democrats.
Film star Demi Moore will play the role of Jackie Kennedy in this gun-crazy, gun-control media murder. Demi Moore, star of Ghost, looks like you're performing with another dead guy. Why are you doing it?
I'm doing it because I believe in America. I'm doing it for my fellow people. I'm doing it because it's going to be fun.
Some people would say that was in dubious taste. What would you say to that?
I'd say to them, what is taste? Some people like an apple, some people like a strawberry. Grandmothers suck eggs. Why? God knows, but they do it.
Well, we're in the car and we're ready to go. How do you feel, guys?
It's a very beautiful experience for me to be able to put something back into the community after taking so much out of it.
I think we're ready to go now.
I'm going to stand up, wave to the crowds, and just say, you know, I'm Daimler Jeffries, but I'm here, I'm JFK, and it's a big moment for me, and it's just, you know, words can't read.
So it looks as if this is going to be one election issue that will lodge forever in people's brains. And come the fall, Patriamo and the Democrats hope to make a killing. Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News, Dallas, Texas.
On the Hour knows where it is and how to get there by taxi.
Now, with the time not quite near enough anywhere specific on the clock face for me to pinpoint a number, it is time, nonetheless, for Thought for the Day from... I'm sorry about the noise, incidentally. Now, if you could just turn up the microphone, I think there is a noise. A bit louder. There. You know, there's a sort of background noise anyway, which is rather unpleasant. And then... There. Did you hear that? It's kind of rumble. Like a very distant sort of burp. I'm sorry about that noise. Anyway, here's Monsignor Trebe Lopez with Thought for the Day. It's all right, it's gone now.
Do you want eggs or toast for breakfast? Asked my wife this morning. Ah, I saith, the Lord God is my breakfast, come rain or shine.
Well, there's just 5 minutes to go until the moment that On the Hour goes 24 hours and news is continuous. But first of all, it's time for Customer Services, our radio opinion programme reflecting the views of you, the public, on us, the output. Here's Chris Crispy of the Fiscal Telegraph.
Hello. This week, we've had a number of complaints about the reporting on Radio 1's news programme, News Banger. One item singled out by many of you was the programme's feature on the armed siege on a school in Bracknell last Saturday.
News Bang FM.
It was a siege of steadily building drama as hours of tension between armed police and the gunman holding the children hostage mounted. And then an amazing climax in a hail of bullets.
Load up, load up, load up, we rubber bullets.
Of course, these bullets were not rubber, they were real, as some of the innocent bystanders were to find out.
Raw Meat News.
32-year-old Todd Brampton, whose 8-year-old daughter was one of the hostages, was hit by stray bullets in the crossfire. He must have been feeling down. 1FM's Conan Batterschreist caught a few words with him before he was taken off in an ambulance.
Quick question, please, Todd. Just a quick question. You two, a spent musical force now, or still worthy standard bearers for the future of rock?
Thrusting deep inside the news whore. News Banger FM.
Dear BBC, In asking a dying man about the future of rock group U2, the so-called reporter demonstrated more clearly than ever exactly what is wrong with BBC News programmes. U2 is a collective proper noun and therefore cannot be referred to as a plural, and yet the reporter in question clearly said standard bearers. Please have him sacked immediately and replace him with a Dimbleby. That letter, from Cos Watson of Newport, was one of several I took down to see the producer of the programme, Leslie Mapps. Leslie, you've heard what our correspondents have to say. What's your defence?
It's my programme. I made it. If they don't like it, they can bog off.
Right, so, to put it another way, you're extremely sorry that your judgment is in conflict with that of our correspondents.
No.
And you...
To put it another way, it's only bloody nutters who complain. I don't give a lusty fuck what they think. The programme's gone out, it's caused offence, so bloody what?
Right, so I think what you're saying is that your broadcast merely illustrates a small change in the use of English, a language which is, after all, constantly changing anyway.
Not what I'm saying.
And many would say it derives its strength from that flexibility.
No! What I'm saying is bollocks to the lie, yo! Especially you nonsense great fairy!
On the hour, choice morsels from a broad kitchen.
Now, as a result of new research at the Cambridge University Department of Astrophysics, man has come one step closer to understanding the true nature of space. Our reporter Stephanie Hootram has been talking to the department's Dr. Dennis O'Brien to find out more.
I wonder if you could explain to me a little bit about the nature of the universe as you see it.
We have a new form of computer technology which I won't go into. It's enormously complex. The nub of it is that it can represent numerical data in a visual form. Therefore, if you tap in all the known coordinates of the paths of all known planets, the computer is able to form a visual image based on this data. And the visual image the computer has formed is a perfect representation of my own face.
What did you feel about this?
Well, I was frightened at first, then quite flattered, and then frightened again. I've rechecked the coordinates, allowing for variables of orbit due to the slow death of white dwarf stars and the influence of black holes. But this has simply produced my own face again, but this time with more wrinkles and a couple of moles and less hair. A kind of aging of the universe as replicated in my own natural aging process. Extraordinary results.
And what are the implications of this?
Either I've been subconsciously organising an enormous amount of highly complex data with a deliberate subconscious bias knowing it would form the my face image, which, to be frank, seems mathematically impossible and beyond human capabilities anyway. The other alternative is that I am the god king of space and supreme deity of the universe, which is quite a responsibility.
That report was by Stephanie Hootram. Sport now, and earlier today Linford Christie won his race. Alan Partridge caught up with him literally seconds after he'd finished.
You've just finished that race.
That was a good race, and...
What time was it? What time?
Came in just a touch over 10 seconds with the wind against me, so it can't be bad at all.
Ah, certainly very good, that, 10 seconds. How far were you running? Half a mile?
It was 100 metres, actually, Alan, 100 metres.
That's not too far, is it? Now, your gear, your shorts especially, they used to be quite baggy, I remember, in the early 70s, and progressively through the 80s and now the 90s, they seem to have got tighter and tighter. One thing that particularly puzzles me is, in sprinters especially, is the buttocks of a man appear to be a lot more well-defined than those of a woman. You know, I was looking at you walking off there, the muscle definition from on each of your buttocks as you walk is quite well defined. It's there's no flab, it's rock hard. I mean, I wanted to prod it to see if it was as hard as it looks. Obviously I couldn't do that. And those pectorals, they're just like sort of plates of meat. In a way, I suppose that's what they are. Fantastic. It's a great body. You deserve it. You've worked for it. Can't help admiring it. If I had a body like that, I'd be wandering around the flat naked all day, looking at myself in mirrors. But obviously I do that now. Mrs. Partridge just says, get your dressing gown on and you look like a Christmas turkey. And she's right in a way. My time's past. I'm sort of, you know, well over the other side, so to speak. No point me working out. But you, just look at you. Fantastic.
And just let me remind you, we're less than 2 minutes away from the moment On the Hour becomes a full 24-hour fixture.
On the Hour. A sensible broadsheet among the brightly coloured rubbish.
Now, if you've missed some of the news between 1940 and 1990, you'll no doubt be interested in a new series of cassettes produced by the BBC to celebrate the events of that time span. The first is issued today. It marks the 1960s. On the Hour, of course, is strapped firmly to the news horse, an animal with a very certain sense of its own history, so it's not exactly inappropriate for us to feature a lengthy preview of some of the news of the decade that was 10 years in the history of news. I'm talking, of course, about the 1960s. 1961 and the start of a new era of optimism. At his inaugural address, the young President John Kennedy set the tone with his relaxed and confident manner.
Well, it's a doobity-doo. Yes, it's a doobity-doo. I mean a doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doo.
Let's get back to where we belong and get with the beat.
But the decade of hope was nearly cut dead in its first year when intelligence satellites over Cuba detected a large spike pointing straight at the United States. The Americans were already concerned that communists were being sent into American cities to hide behind corners and trip people up, and World War III was only averted when brave American soldiers threw themselves onto the spike to prevent it doing any damage. Then, on November the 22nd, 1963, a stunned world was told of the assassination of Mickey Mouse. Horrified onlookers could only watch as America's favorite cartoon character was shot to pieces in front of their children.
Coming down the street, and my 5-year-old boy and myself were by ourselves on the grass there on Palmer Street, and I asked Joe to wave to him, and Joe waved, and I waved, and the man... That's all right, sir. You go ahead, Charlie. As he was waving back, the shot rang out, and he slumped down in the seat.
Throughout the decade in Vietnam, American soldiers were being outmaneuvered by the Viet Cong, who'd been trained to duck. The United States responded by sending in smaller troops to stop the bullets going over the enemy's heads, but this momentary success was soon parried by the Viet Cong, who then started dropping "Look behind you" leaflets on the GIs and shooting the backs of their heads as soon as they turned round. 1969, and a new pinnacle in man's achievement, as America became, with Apollo 11, the very first nation to put a sheepdog trial on the moon. 1 billion TV viewers worldwide watched as Buzz Aldrin rounded up the flock.
We're now in the approach phase, everything looking good. 2,000 feet, into the ag, 47 degrees, roger. Eagle looking great, your go. Down 2.5. Forward. 4 forward. 4 forward, drift into the right level.
Well, we're becoming rather pushed for time, but there is a moment to tell you about programs later today on Radio 4. If I can say this without hesitation, deviation or repetition, there's a new series of Just a Minute. Tonight's special guest is Prince Edward.
The subject is guilt. But can you talk on the subject of guilt starting now?
Yes. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it goes back to this with friends. And it's very difficult, really, to be able to go, yes, I mean, to have a... You certainly, I mean...
That's Just a Minute tonight on Radio 4, and we really are frantically pushed for time now. The weather from Suzanne Charlton at the London Weather Centre.
Temperatures, winds chilly.
Thank you, Suzanne. And just ahead of the pips, I can tell you about the roads today. The M5, the A46, the A12 and the B1067. Welcome to Perma News. As from this moment on Radio 4, On the Hour becomes a 24-hour fact machine. That's news for 24 hours every day, each day of the week, every week of all fortnights. All other programs on Radio 4 no longer exist, and in a sense, they never really have. For news has existed since before the dawn of man. In the beginning, there was the news, and the news was good.
And just before we plunge headlong into the news infinity, a special feature about how that news will be assembled for broadcast.
The time 13 minutes to 9.
Righto, Peter, election piece, keep it fluffy.
Now then, if a week in politics is a long time, what's a whole election campaign? Well,
Eternity.
I say eternity is the word
Good.
that springs unwillingly to my mind.
DG would like a mention of China.
But as Mao Zedong would no doubt have said, an election campaign starts...
Control is the key to successful news programming. Control not only in the studio, but in the planning. 10:30 a.m. and the morning meeting starts with a breakdown of yesterday's transmission.
We want to talk about last night, the 8 o'clock. We've got to dissect that before we go any further, okay? I've got a few words to say. Marco, tell us what you thought of it.
Well, I thought to lead with Major's tart with a heart was absolutely pathetic.
I agree with Mark. The Major story
Good face.
shouldn't have been where it was.
Yeah.
Thin, wafer thin. I mean, it just looks scurrilous.
I like the fact you've got an opinion. That's novel from one of your gender. I like it. It chimes in my ears.
Dear, please.
The time is 17 minutes to 7.
Okay, push for time, Brian. Let's crack on. No chat.
I thought we had a national lottery. It's called the budget. The
Ha,
time is
bloody ha!
10:45 and the agenda has moved to today.
Number one, we got Bolivia.
Right, yeah. Well, I've already said that it's brewing there and it's going to go off. My sources say it's going to be next week, and I just think I've got to just jump on the first plane.
It's very speculative.
It's not at all speculative. It's actually.
Well, I mean, where are your sources?
Well, I can't. I'm not going to tell you where my source is. If I tell you my source, I blow the source.
Roger, can I
cut straight in there, Roger? I'm a little bit concerned because I've been working on this imported monkey that are having problems with the RSPCA, and
you're not going to fly with the monkey.
Can I just say something? Pain, misery. Everyone loves a monkey. This is a story. It's the last organ grinder in Britain.
Listen, I can definitely get Prescott on the line.
I want you across the sexy story today.
Well, I'm saying the transport story is sexy because it's going to spread.
Okay. I'll throw this open. If it's sexy, let's put it on the table and see you'll shag it.
Eggs can explode if put in whole, or even if the shell has been broken because of the yolk sac.
Try good heavens, John.
Good heavens.
Good.
So even if you try and do a poached egg, I suppose...
The programme in transmission. At the last minute, the intense deliberations of the morning meeting have been overthrown to accommodate a new main story, how to cook an egg.
There was a chap in the United States who put 7 eggs in a microwave, and on removing them, 6 of them exploded in his face.
Better have another good heavens, John.
Good heavens.
Closing music. And just time to part the beef curtains of tomorrow's headlines. The Telegraph, angry sparrow pecks roof for 10 minutes. The Guardian, church cleaner filleted by slate from God. I see there's a free prawn inside tomorrow's Express. Health Minister grills foot in near-hilarious barbecue horror, that's today. And the rest of tomorrow's papers lead with spineless Gibbon hails taxi. That's it. I'm Christopher Morris, and I've just heard my wife's had a baby. And I can tell you something. If it doesn't like news, I'm going to shove it straight back in again.
News edits were arranged by Steve Coogan and Rebecca Front. Online dubbing was by Patrick Marber and Doon Mackichan, and David Schneider was wireman. News production was by Armando Iannucci. And now on Radio 4, On the Hour.
Roll out the red carpet. News is back in town. Good afternoon.
From me, Christopher Morris.
And me, Christopher Morris.
First, how today's main stories
have developed in the last 12 minutes.
The Essex village of
Dedham continues to
menaced
be
by a bluebottle.
Residents are still locked indoors.
And no one can provide an explanation.
Crisis stasis then.
But here's Christopher Morris
with a report on bluebottles.
The bluebottle is an insect built in the shape of a fly, with the characteristic 6-leg compound eye features of its invertebrate order. It has 2 pairs of wings like a Sopwith camel and no neck to speak of. of. Its colour is blue. There are hairs along its abdomen which contains the breathing gear and egg-laying equipment. It flies. Christopher Morris reporting, and joining me around the table
for the next 3 hours,
17 experts
and voices of opinion,
to discuss
blue bottles,
their life,
their history,
their behaviour,
and everything.